We're going to do an audio countdown, and then after one, we'll break to the show. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing? Here to give some opinions and talk to some people. Not directly, indirectly. That's what I'm going to do. I'll say that my name is Clarence. My name's not really Clarence, but right now I feel like a Clarence. Drink Budweiser beer. Here, let me do this. Gotta plug the company. Maybe they'll give me some money here. And, oh, I can't hold it that way. I can't drink it. Okay. How you doing, Grand Rapids? It's Clarence, the Opinionator. And I'm here to bring some news to you, to give some opinions, talk some crap, and hopefully we can solve a few things. So, first thing I want to talk about is these bike lanes. I travel around Grand Rapids a lot, and I ride a gas scooter, and I see bike lanes going up everywhere. Now, when you ride a gas scooter, you can't go in the bike lanes. You got to veer way to the right, and you can't be in the middle of traffic. You can't be in the middle of a lane if you're under 50 cc's and you got a moped license or driver's whatever. But you can't travel in a bike lane. That's a ticket. You can't travel in a regular lane. That's a ticket. The law says you got to move way to the right. So I have to ride that bike lane white line. Well, now I see that they have bike lanes going up all over the city. And that's good. But the problem's always been like on Turner Avenue in Grand Rapids, from probably Richmond all the way to 3rd Street, down past the old Union High School / West Middle. They put a median in, and they split that 2-lane one-way street that's been that way forever, and they put in a 2-way bike lane, and then they put in a cement median with curbs all the way around it, and then they've narrowed Turner Avenue to 1 lane. Well, what the hell, man? The bike lane's pretty big, and now with me riding the streets, I don't see that many bicyclists riding the bike lane. They're riding the sidewalk, they're riding the street. They don't ride that bike lane. Most bicyclists that I see want to ride against traffic, so at least if a car's going to hit them, they can see them coming. Like, not many bicyclists trust riding the same way with traffic. So I think that's why they created this 2-way bike system lane. And yesterday, I was on Godfrey Street I was between Oxford and Hall, and they got this bike lane from hell that's not in the street. It's not a bike lane. It's a 2-lane with 1 lane each way on the sidewalk, and then they widen the sidewalk to where pedestrians still have a sidewalk on the left side of the yellow line. What do you think of that? Does that make sense to you? I think it makes sense to me because, well, people riding bicycles aren't out in the street. But now today, somebody challenged that and says, well, I think it's more dangerous because it's proven that bicyclists that ride on the sidewalks get hit by cars more often by crossing the street, like cross streets. Well, who's responsible for that? Is it the car or the bicyclist? Now, I know if I was riding a bicycle and walking on a sidewalk and I came to a cross street, I would stop, most definitely, because a car can kill your ass. And I would stop and look both ways and then make sure I could cross the street safely. Well, I believe that bicyclists should be held to the same laws of traffic with vehicles, in that it should be their responsibility to stop at intersections and make sure they can safely proceed. What say you? So, with that out of the way, welcome to the show. My name, what did I say? It's Clarence? Yeah. My name's Clarence, and I'm here for, I don't know, until I say I'm not. And sitting in my kitchen, listening to a radio station. It's my fridge, and it's my Pyrex, and this is my Budweiser shirt that I just got. Another thing I want to talk to you about, since we're on the subject of beer, is nude sunbathing. Do you approve of nude sunbathing, or are you against it? Now, me myself, I'm a modest individual, and I'm obese and I'm old and I got issues. My nipples are always hard, so I'm not one to do nude sunbathing. But if you are, would you do it in public? Would you do it in private? Would you not even do it? That's right. Because I would say that, like, 80+% of people would not consider nude sunbathing because of modesty, you know? We're modest. I gotta admit, there's times I've stared at myself in the mirror. I wasn't modest then, but I wasn't with other people, you know what I mean? I was looking at myself. But when you're out in public, oh my lord, you're showing the world your attributes or your non-attributes. So let me ask you this. If given the opportunity, would you, like, join a nudist colony? No? I don't think I would either, because I can't compete in a nudist colony, you know? Wouldn't work for me. But, on the same token, years ago, in the late 90s, I was approached by a nudist colony magazine. The Naturalist, I think it was, or something like that. And they wanted to do a centerfold spread on me, but that was a whole different story. My lawyer said don't do it. I didn't do it, and I regretted it ever since. I think I should have done it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because it never happened. So I live in Grand Rapids. I've lived here all my life. Uh, Been here, been there. Well, for 13 years. I lived out in Sparta, Michigan, with my wonderful wife and our dog, and now we live in Grand Rapids on the west side. Where do you live? Yeah, we live on the west side. We live on the west side. I think that the news media is important to an extent. I'm pretty much a self-proclaimed liberal, but I've been leaning Democratic for quite a while. And we'll leave that at that, because I'm kind of wide open middle of the road. I voted for both Democrats and Republicans. I think that both sides of politics, and as far as the parties go, are crooked. They're criminals. So we'll have to see how this pans out. I kind of like the thing with old Trumper. old Mr. Orange, going through his trials and tribulations, 91 federal felony indictments, and it seems pretty interesting to me for a post-president individual. You know what I mean? Now, have you ever watched GRTV before? GRMC, GRMC, is that right? GRMC, Grand Rapids Media Communications or something. You ever been involved with them before? I've known some people that are involved with them, and that's why I'm on here, because I'm trying to bring some enlightenment to your otherwise dreary evening. And if I have done that, then we're good. If I haven't done that, then, well, that's okay too, because I got a buzz while trying. And, I had to wet my whistle. So I'm 65 years old. I'm a father and a grandfather and a husband. I've traveled a good road in my life. And I'm pretty content with my poverty. And I got all I need and all I want. I hope you do too, because you know what? At the end of the road, you're going to look back at what you've done, what you've achieved, what you've failed at, and I think the bottom line is you're going to go, that was cool, because your ride through life is yours. No one else took that ride. You might have had some passengers along the way, like a wife or, parents or kids, but you ride that thing alone, and when you get to the end of the road and that old horse dies, there you are, sucking your last wind. So with that being said, you want to be cremated, buried in the ground, planted in a tree pod, scattered your ashes in the ocean, in the Rogue River, the Grand River, whatever. It's illegal to spread ashes, but regardless, what would you want done with your remains? Me? I want to be buried, because that way I have a headstone and a place to rest for the rest of my life, and then my kids and people that liked me or hated me, I don't care, because I'm dead. They can come visit me and talk shit to me. I kind of like that, because I do that at graves with people I've known. When someone's cremated, you spread the ashes, and if you're talking to a box of ashes, then you kind of have issues, you know what I mean? Maybe. So, what would you do? If and when the time comes, and it will, that you perish, you expire in this phase of your life, what do you want done with your remains? My wife talked about donating her body to science, like medical things, because then you not only don't have to pay to dispose of her body, they'll cremate her and then send the rest of her crap back to you in ashes, and it don't cost you anything, because they got to play with their stuff, or his stuff, or their stuff. Would you donate your body to science? I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's kind of like spare ribs. I never been a fan of spare ribs or watermelon, and I'll tell you why. Well, you don't cook watermelon, but spare ribs are not easy to cook. I have cooked some good ones, but I tell you what, more times than not, I've cooked bad ones, because it's like meatloaf, meatballs. It's hard to do on a consistent level. So I want you to think about that. And next time we talk, I want you to think about dogs, because dogs, I think, are in a pretty much parallel existence to our own self as humans. It ain't gorillas. It ain't monkeys. If they evolved into humans, then there wouldn't be gorillas or monkeys. But there's dogs, you know. Dogs don't have thumbs, they got dew claws. But that doesn't mean a dog can drive a car or open up a jar of green olives. No. Unless they pick it up and slam it to the floor. Funny how dogs are. We have a dog, and she's absolutely fantastic. Very smart dog. But she's just a dog. Just the same. Look at there. Budweiser's the king of beers. Look at there. It's the king of beers. I don't just drink beer. I'm an alcoholic and I drink everything, pretty much. I'm not a big fan of like brandy or crap like that. But I like beer. I'll be known to drink wine with Italian food. I like that. Cheese platters, bread, meat, and wine's good for that. I drink vodka. I like expensive vodka, like Absolute. I also like tequila. When I drink vodka, I drink it with slices of oranges a lot of times. Till I get drunk, then, screw the fruit. I just, do shots of vodka. But when I also have a fondness for expensive Irish whiskey. Yeah. Yeah, I do like Irish whiskey. And I have some Irish whiskey. And I also like tequila with lime. My wife says I get ugly on tequila. Ooh! I think I'm ugly most of the times, but when we're drinking vodka, she don't recognize it as much. So nowadays, we drink vodka. Every so often, we'll switch to tequila when we get a deal, like through M-Perk somewhere. Here's to the folks at Anheuser-Busch that make this fine beer. And I'm not paid to advertise, but maybe if I keep it up, I will be one. Anyway, this is Clarence. This is my pilot show. This is my test show. This is my first run. I want to say that I want to get back on GRTV, and this is my first approach in doing that. So, from Grand Rapids, Michigan on the west side, I'm Clarence. And I want to wish you Grand Rapidians a great night. And look for me on the streets. And do me a favor, don't throw no fruit or slushies at me or no crap like that, because that'll really piss this guy off, And I carry rocks just to throw at people, so beware. I have defenses. I hope to see you down the road, and I'm going to come back and do another show. And if you have any ideas on what we should talk about or what I should talk about, then give me some feedback. I'll hook up a phone number or a website or something to where you can get a hold of me. Okay? So, be cool, Grand Rapids. I love you, and I hope that you have a good night. Bye. And God bless GRTV and the United States of America. Later.